anything that is in a fruit or vegetable that isn't either bitter or too hard or would break my teeth, I'll eat. I'm definitely a weird one when it comes to food sometimes. It's due to years and years of getting ready for pageants and then trying to, hack how to feel full while eating less. Therefore, I've come up with, 15 strategies that have really worked well for me.
And I want to tell you in advance, I am not a doctor, I'm not a healthcare physician, so please go see a doctor if you need to see a doctor.
I like to eat the skins of fruit. I like eating mango skins, apple skins. I don't eat orange rinds, but I eat the pith in the center, the sort of spongy white stuff in the center of the orange. I eat that. Same with grapefruits, pomelos. I don't do pineapple skins, but I do guava skins. I do pear skins. All that stuff I just find to be roughage. I try to do organic so that I'm not eating the pesticides in these fruit skins. But by and large, I just started doing it when I was a kid because my grandfather would peel the outsides of apples, and I would be so excited to eat an apple that I wouldn't be able to wait, and so I'd grab a peel and I'd nosh on that. And so I have fond memories of eating apple peels, which has led to eating the peels of other fruits. And they are low in calorie, they're gonna be thrown out anyways, and I find that eating them is just more fiber. And plus, if you're gonna buy a fruit, eat the whole fruit. I also eat whole apples. So instead of just eating, around the apple and then tossing the core, I will eat the apple from like top down. And therefore I'll get some of the seeds every few bites. And then before you know it, the whole thing's gone. I also eat things like the whites of celeries, the white part of the watermelon. But by and large, my favorite are mango skins, specifically unripe mango skins. Which brings me to my next point. I eat lots of unripe fruit. I got this into my head when I was a teenager that if I eat fruit that is unripe, it has fewer calories because the sugar in it hasn't had a chance to really develop to become simple fructose. And so I always told myself, it made sense in my head, if I'm eating an unripe mango, I'm technically eating something that's closer to a vegetable than I am eating a fruit because there's less sugar in it. Now, I don't actually know if this is true, but I've been doing this for years and I've had great success. I love eating unripe mangoes because the outsides are actually not as bitter. They become a little bit more bitter as they ripen. It's also, sometimes I'll eat like unripe nectarines, unripe stone fruits, because again, the sugar hasn't had a chance to develop. So in my mind, they're fewer calories, all fiber. What I'll also eat is the outsides of shrimp, the shell that usually comes off. Sometimes at Chinese restaurants, these shells are cooked where it's really, really crunchy and garlicky and delicious. You just gotta chew carefully because sometimes like the spiky part of the shrimp could really poke you and it can damage your gums at the wrong angle. I'll also eat things like chicken cartilage. It actually has a lot of nutrition in it. It's like, how do you take a set amount of calories, a certain food, an item, an ingredient, and take it all the way? Make it last as long as possible, get as much nutrition out of it as possible. I'm also cheap, so maybe that's why I'm not throwing anything away. I'm just eating everything. Number 4, I avoid all alcohol. I don't actually have the ability to process alcohol. I have alcohol flush reaction when I do. My face gets really red, my heart starts beating quickly, I don't feel good, and I just want to pass out. But if you are ever in a situation where you feel like you're socially pressured to drink alcohol, let's say you're at a party and everyone's taking shots, here's a trick that I learned from a fraternity brother back in college. You take the shot, you hold it in your mouth, and then you spit it into your chaser right away. The key to executing this is timing. You have to time it so that everyone's taking the shot at the same time, and you also don't want to take too long. You have to have the chaser right up into your mouth so that no one sees that you're a pufferfish holding the shot. You gotta spit it right into your chaser. And then you can kind of amble around at the kitchen sink and then just pour it out when no one's looking. Something else that also works, now that I'm getting older, I realize when I say, I don't drink anymore. Sometimes people think, oh, she doesn't drink anymore. Oh, was she in Alcoholics Anonymous? Did she have a bad experience? Oh, I'm not gonna ask. So I'll say, oh, I don't drink anymore. And people don't usually press. Sometimes I eat before I eat out. And this is so I'm not completely ravenous. I am so single-threaded that when I'm out eating with people, I don't actually enjoy the food because I'm so focused on the person. Or vice versa, I'm like so focused on the food, I can't really focus on the person or the conversation. I'm a terrible multitasker. What they say about women being good multitaskers does not apply to me. By eating something so that you're not fully starving, you also save money because you're less likely to over-order. Number 6, I am known as the leftover queen among my friends and family because they know I love leftovers and I can survive on leftovers alone. I have the ability to take like an entree from a Chinese restaurant and make it last like a week. Any Chinese entree, I'll just eat that with rice and some vegetables for as long as it will last. And I find that it makes me pretty happy because sometimes the entree from a restaurant is just so salty and greasy that a little bit goes a long way. I have descended from peasants on my father's side, and food was always scarce. You know, a lot of those immigrants, my forefathers came to America because there was no food in China. So this being my most recent family history, that explains why I'm so good with leftovers. Now, as a disclaimer, don't eat old food unless you know what you're doing. Food safety is still important, but for me, I know that my gut has developed the bacteria. I've never gotten sick. I've eaten stuff that's pretty old and I've never gotten food poisoning. Things to brag about. Yeah. Number 7, I run before I wash my hair. I have to wash my hair at least twice a week. So if I'm gonna like hop in the shower anyway and go through the effort and the time of blow drying and all that jazz, I'm gonna go for a run. So this really keeps me working out consistently because I feel like I'm able to get multiple benefits from my shower. Not only am I restoring myself to factory conditions, I also get a workout, and it just feels great to kind of have that warm water on your body and sore muscles after a long workout. One thing that really helps me, it's more of a mental trick, is that I don't set out to like go run 10 miles. I don't really understand people who just like put on their shoes and are like, okay, I'm going out for like 13 miles. I don't understand that because I don't know how I feel until I start running. I have to put on all my workout clothes.
Sports bra, your tank, your shorts, your socks, your shoes, your hat, your sunglasses, and now your mask.
That is all a thing. For me, like the bar is very low. I just need to get out there and go for a 15-minute walk. That's the very basic thing. And what I've found is that if I have the ability to go out there for a 15-minute walk, I will usually end up just going for a little jog, which turns into a run that becomes longer if I'm feeling good that day, and also just shorter if I'm not feeling good that day. Then I'm able to not put so much pressure on myself if I'm not feeling like running super long. Number 8, I do not eat breakfast. I used to eat breakfast and then I just stopped one day. And the first couple of days I was like, oh, I'm kind of hungry. But then after a week, I just stopped getting hungry. The body is amazing. Like it gets used to habits so quickly. I find that eating breakfast now tends to make me hungrier throughout the day. I don't know what it is. It's probably psychological. I think it like opens up my stomach or my palate in the day. But by not eating breakfast, I actually save more calories for myself at lunch and at dinner. Number 9, I don't really drink water. Yeah. Anyone who knows me knows this about me. I don't drink water. It's super bizarre. I have a theory it's because I get a lot of my water from fruits and vegetables, oranges, grapes. Like I'm always eating something that makes me use the bathroom, but I do need to drink more water. So this is weird, and I know it's weird. Like it's not good. I should probably drink more water. When ordering out, my go-to drink is not a cocktail, it's not soda, it is hot water with lemon. It's just something that I started doing when I was in China. It was a great way to kind of cleanse myself. I don't actually know if this is scientifically proven. I think it's all in my head. But hot water and lemon doesn't have any calories, and the lemon will sometimes mask the taste of tap water. If you have to order something that's not water, I recommend ordering sparkling water in addition to your drink with ice. Pour it off from the top, and then drink from the melted part. Number 11, I go hungry. I know in the developed world, it's like, no one is hungry. Oh, you can't let them go hungry. I actually think it's the opposite. I think going hungry makes your food taste so much better, and it just helps you get used to working more efficiently. You know, a lot of intermittent fasters actually say that they feel better when they're not digesting because they're not sleepy and they're able to just get stuff done. I actually feel that way. When I'm not eating, I feel lighter to a certain extent. There is a fine point where I'm on the edge of being hangry. Yeah, that's not good. You don't want to push yourself too far there. You want to pull yourself back before you get to that point. But the truth is, I think having hunger is a good feeling to get used to because then you're able to really enjoy food. When you are at least hungry once every couple of days, it almost resets your baseline and your palate to really appreciate when you have food in front of you. It's a critical part of mindful eating. If you are never hungry, can you really appreciate being full? If a tree in a forest fell and no one was there to hear it, did it really fall? Number 12, so when it is time to eat, I eat the very best thing first. And this was the opposite of what I did as a kid, because as a kid, I would always save the best for last. In fact, my dad would tease me because sometimes I would, eat around my plate. I'd save the best morsel, and then my father would be like, "Oh, you don't want it? Let me eat it." And I'd like slap his hand away. But as an adult, if I'm hungry, it's like being hungry is such a gift that you want to eat the very best thing, because what you choose to eat when you're hungry actually tastes even better. So I am like, go straight in for like the best bite, eat what you want, because you might become fuller earlier than you anticipated, and you don't want to leave the best thing for like you when you're like forcing it down. So if you see something you like, go for it, girl. Sometimes I will eat my snacks as my dinner. Different schools of thought, different diets say snacks are good, snacks are bad. I personally am like, it's a snack only if you call it a snack. A snack could be your dinner if that is your dinner. Now, at least with Chinese parents, whenever I go to visit them, they are always noticing what I'm eating. In a lot of Asian households, it's one or the other. Either parents think you eat too much or not enough. Hey, stop eating, you're getting fat. Keep eating, you don't have enough food in your stomach. You're getting too skinny. How are you gonna bear grandkids? 14, I never weigh myself. To be honest with you, I actually don't know how much I weigh right now. And the reason why is I'm such a quantitative person that I feel like if I were to get a scale, I would get addicted to like keeping myself that number. And I don't wanna play that game. I think it would only make me be more self-conscious. Therefore, I don't even own one. I haven't owned one at all. Last time I weighed myself was probably when I was in high school. But nowadays, I just go by how my clothes fit, how I feel. I even made up the number on my driver's license, so I actually don't know how much I weigh. And lastly, I hate admitting this, but I will take a bite of something sweet, a dessert, some guilty pleasure, and after my first 2 or 3 bites, I will literally throw it away. The reason is that I would rather that sugar be out of my body than in my body. So if I eat the first 2 or 3 bites, which are the most delicious anyway, like I get the most utility, the most satisfaction from those early bites anyway, after that inflection point in which I'm getting flavor fatigue, I'll chuck it. I know it's wasteful, I'm so embarrassed. But like Shrek says,
better out than in, I always say.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you don't think I'm that weird. This is the part 3 of a 3-part series. So if you want to check out my other 2 videos right here, talking about strategies for how to lose weight for your pageant, and also my personal story and my journey, take a look right there. All right, please leave a comment and subscribe. Take a look at my previous videos right over here.